Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from IEM Katowice 2019. Two of the best players in the entire world. If you have not heard either of these names, this has to be the very first time you have watched StarCraft. Well, let me introduce you, and there's some very interesting context to this match, making it either tragic or exciting or, well, form your own opinions. Let me just introduce the players. First off, we have the man, but commonly known as the machine. It's Innovation. One of the top Korean Terran players, known for nearly impeccable execution, sharp timings, the ability to play both early and late game. Now, his biggest weaknesses, especially recently, ironically enough, his flexibility and his lack of himself. But still making it this far in IEM Katowice. Katowice. I try to say it. Moving on, we were well past whether or not I'm screwing that up. In the top left, the world champion of 2018. Dominating all of the WCS circuit, all of Korea, all of everyone. He's undefeated in this IEM group right now. And he's looking to do a clean sweep. From ENCE Esports, it's Serral. So, some interesting context from this match. As this match is being played, there is money on the line based on where you place in the group, so that is relevant. But Serral has already come out first in the group. No matter what, he's beaten enough players that he's first place and he's gotten through. Innovation is out. Innovation cannot move on to the next round of IEM. This match is for several $100s still, so it's being played, of course. But you can't really blame a guy who's won hundreds of thousands for phoning it in. Especially against someone... Serral's beaten Innovation before. Serral's beaten everyone before. There's no shame. Innovation has already lost to pretty much everyone else in the group. So, I mean, a best of 3 to wrap things up before we move on to the next rounds. But I expect a pretty... I mean, Innovation, I'm sure he wants to maintain some dignity. Maybe if he can take a game off of Serral. But, overall, a disappointing tournament for him. Obviously, going out in the group stages is not ideal. Serral, as expected, dominating everyone. But we'll see. First game is Cyber Forest. It is best of 3, so only 3 matches total. Well, potentially to be played. It's not a longer series. In best of 5 and best of 7, there's a whole different set of mind games and build orders and strategies and tactics. Those are all kind of the same thing. Players will break out. Like, if it's Maru, then the best times to proxy racks, you might have seen Maru proxy racks before, are the start of a series, match point, when you're up a game or when you're down a game, and also when the game starts. So he has a specific way of going about it. And speaking of specific ways of going about it, Serral, quick lair. He's taken a third, but it's a decoy. He's trying not to show that he doesn't have Zergling speed yet. Innovation doesn't have much info besides there's a third, there are some queens, there's some creep spread. This seems to be almost a total fake out from Serral. This is going to be, I believe, a Hellbat push. The Armory is seconds from completion. The Hellions are coming up. Serral may have to show... Well, he doesn't have a Roach Warren yet. He's about to get a Nidus. Is this all timed out so his Roaches finish as the Nidus comes in? But guess what? Innovation's already here with the Hellbats. He's going to see the Nidus because it's right there. Oh, Serral! He dodges into the Nidus! Already big moves coming out. Something rarely seen, but definitely we're going to be seeing more with the prevalence of Nidus Worms. Now, the building itself has a lot more HP than the Queen. He is kind of body blocking out. Some Roaches pop out into the fire and the flames. Roaches, thankfully for Serral, are coming out, but the drones are exposed. He didn't pull them away. He's going to lose a couple. One more volley. He's down, well, he's down 4, and the Nidus has been revealed. That is also important. Will he just slap it in? Now, here's the thing about the Nidus Swarm. Just because you see it coming doesn't mean you can stop it. It has a lot of HP and a lot of armor. The Liberator can't shoot at it. The Marines are tickling it. The bunkers are here, but is that going to matter? Is Innovation going to try to body block out? The units can still pop out over the top. The Nidus unloading everything. The tank is out. He can siege it up. There's no Ravagers to gun it down. The Liberator's zoning out a lot of the main. The worker count, even 32, 33 right here. And that does not favor your Zerg player in such a low-tech situation. He's got a Nidus, and that's about it when it comes to tech. Just the Roaches, Ravagers, no speed, no nothing. Now, of course, he can be incredibly annoying. Some Ravagers coming up for Serral. He knows he needs options to deal with these longer-range siege units. Ten workers so far. Now, while Innovation doesn't have a third command center, he does have mules, which will put him in a comfortable position when it comes to continually mining. That's why when Terran has less workers, it's not as big of an impact as when Zerg most definitely does. Serral's been droning behind, but make no mistake, he has a lot of ground to make up. And the Corrosive Bows hit the Liberator here. 3 shots to kill an SCV, 3 Corrosive Bows to kill a Liberator. He knocks it out of the sky. We'll lose 1 Ravager for his troubles. Few more SCVs going down. He's denying the mining. He's kind of contained Innovation inside his own base. Another Nidus at the net. Back and forth we go. The Whack-A-Nidus plays required out of Innovation, but incredibly difficult to just block them from getting into the base. You have to react to them. And every time that Innovation has to reposition, pull away his SCVs, lose a couple, it's only 50-50. That's the low price of 2 Banelings or a Reaper. For each Nidus Swarm. If he gets a couple SCVs and a bunch of mining time lost, well, it's worth it. It's already worth it. He's already invested in the Nidus network itself. So Innovation, he looked like he had a solid hold, but the counterattack potential isn't really there. He doesn't want to send. He's not risking sending his Liberators across. And now this is kind of an Innovation specific style. A lot of players would be trying to be active on the map, to scan, see exactly what Serral is doing. Innovation has taken, well, he's done a calculation. He's saying, okay, Serral. Well, he's assuming Serral's going to commit to another attack, and he's not going to scan and see what he's doing. He's saying, I'm putting all the mules down, I'm putting everything I can into my production, and I'm going to hit this timing. I actually do not care what you're doing. Of course, he does care, but it's not going to affect how he plays. He's going to make sure this timing, with all these tanks, Stim +1 combat shields on the way, we should see a couple medevacs in a moment, is going to hit as hard as possible. Now, a Viking and a Liberator going out, seeing these Queens, and getting a spot on the drone count. I think he's going to be wanting to move out sooner rather than later. Serral has shot up to 67 drones. He's got 1-1 on the way, he's got speed. If you're Innovation, well, he doesn't have a third. He has 43 SCVs. He's not building anymore. And that's about full 2-base saturation. But it all is going to come down to one strong, decisive timing attack. Serral is quickly, with 67 drones and soon to be 4 bases, you can build a lot of units. You can build a lot of units. Take my word for it. The scan comes out. Medevacs are about to complete. Innovation should be moving out now. What? Don't worry, he'll do it. He's gonna do it. I'm actually wondering why he's not doing it. Does he think Serral's going to attack across the map? Doesn't want to risk it? Okay, there you go. Just wants to make sure he has that combat shield, but Serral is in the back of the main. Innovation doesn't see it. Now, there's not much in the Nidus. There's a handful of Roaches. 3 Roaches, enough to one-shot SCVs. Serral is zoning out at the front while Nidusing in the back. A classic one, too. Some more reinforcements come through the Nidus. This is not the time to be playing defensive. Innovation realizes that another army is threatening. He can't just move back into his main. Serral's already on 4 bases. There is no time. Oh, that's a lot of tanks. Serral's just going deep in the paint. Throws out Corrosive Bows. Double kill on the tanks. It's... The time to attack for Innovation is passing. The window is closing. Serral's going closer and closer to maxing out. He still has 60+ drones. He's got that base. A Liberator gets a few drones in the back. He has to go. How many tanks are left? We got 6 tanks. That's devastating potential damage on the roaches. Oh, Serral, a little bit of a move command. And the Corrosive Biles, Innovation easily stutter steps out of him. So Serral's going to be taking quite a cost of ineffective engagement. But the thing is, he took that fight in the middle of the map. There's no threat here. He's not on a base. He's not killing drones. He opens up the rock so he doesn't get caught between them. The tanks are slowly moving forward, but Serral has the luxury of time. Every second that passes, it gets better for him. As long as he's not losing drones or bases, as long as he's not just throwing away units into siege tanks. Serral continues to maintain 170+ supply. Innovation is struggling to get above this 120 mark. Now, the army supplies are a lot closer to even. There's a Nidus in the back. Serral is forcing the issue. Innovation now must move forward. There is no going back. There's no Nidus. There's no recall for Terran. Unless you have battle cruisers, which he has not opted for. Innovation is jamming himself in. The Baneling Nest is under fire. It's going to be well, it may be taken out before Baneling speed. It will. So no Baneling speed. Even though Serral is up by 60 supply, that doesn't necessarily mean he can break this army. This is a lot of tanks, medevacs, marines, and marauders. The most cost-efficient possible army that Innovation could have right now on the tech that he invested in. But Serral, instead of deciding to engage head-on, just keeps forcing him to go back a little bit to cut off his reinforcements until he can just overwhelm all the tanks. The Zergling streaming in the front. The tank's not able to get enough shots up. Corrosive Biles knocking the rest down. A pickup is there. But I think he's going to be dropping out, not of the medevacs, but the game very soon. He didn't make enough headway. He didn't get there quick enough. The Nidus networks, well, the Nidus worms, brought him back time and time again. And now Serral, maybe one last gasp here, but there's way too much Roach Ravager. 2 tanks are not enough. Boost the medevacs so they are more effective in healing. But that's not enough Terran. GG. Serral takes game number 1 quite decisively, as we're used to seeing. Plenty of Zerglings and Roaches. Innovation handled the Nidus pretty well, but that was classic Innovation right there. This is my timing. I'm doing this timing, and no matter what you're doing. Now, it was a reaction to the Nidus, but it all started because of that first Hellbat attack. Innovation was doing a Hellbat attack. He was committed to that. And I feel like the Hellbats could have done a little better if he had decided to go for drones earlier, but we'll see. We're in game number 2. If you use afterburners on the medevacs, they heal faster. What I mean by that is if they're boosted, they move into healing range instead of trying to catch up with units faster. They don't heal quicker, but they spend more time healing because they spend less time moving, is what that means. And you'll see top Terran players do that in those engagements, because maybe a few points of health can be the difference between dying and living. But we're in game 2. Serral with a decisive win in game number 1. Now, well, decisive is strong. A solid win. No, that's still a little strong. A victory. Just remove the adjectives. Innovation definitely put together a potentially deadly attack, but Serral kind of boxed him out. He pulled him back, and gave himself time to get the units he needed to lean on his economy. Because Roach Ravager Ling does not stack up well against well-positioned Marines and tanks. So the simple answer is, don't let them get in position. Now, he also made a call, and since nobody's proxying and nobody's proxy hatching or early pull, talk about that last game a little more. He also made a call that, even at the top level, is really hard to make. Do I give up one of my bases? Now, Serral knew that Innovation was on a limited economy, but an argument could be made for saving the third. Like, Innovation was on top of the Baneling nest. He actually killed the third. And Serral's like, nope, not yet. Not yet. And he waited. And that ended up paying off. As many of his moves do. That's the hardest part of dealing with tanks, I think, for players of all levels, is understanding when you can fight and when you don't need to. The SCV scouts for one hatch. Will he actually try to block the third, or is he just scouting? Looks like he's just scouting. The timing... Was it a pool first? It was a pool first. Alright. No gas, though, which means... As he's just getting his gas now, which means he wasn't going to go for some sort of all-in. It was a pull first, but Innovation did send an SCV scout out. Saw the timing, realized it better than I did, and I have the production tab, so that's kind of sad. But Zergling speed is now on the way. Innovation going with the classic Destiny Cloud Fist build. The 1-1-1 Barracks Factory Starport. I just reiterating, it's quite the circumstances of this match are quite interesting. Again, Innovation is out of the tournament. He's out. It doesn't matter. Like, and Serral is first place in his group no matter what. The difference is a couple $100 here. And of course, dignity, which is invaluable, even to a robot like Innovation. Couple Hellions. Oh my god. Did the Creep Tumor actually wall off there? I believe it did. So Creep Tumors only have unit collision while they're building. Oh, the Reaper in the main picks up one kill. That should be it. Oh my god. Serral a little tilted, like, oh, I can't believe that thing's getting away. Everybody hates Reapers, alright? Even Terrans. Innovation just kind of comes in with his Hellions. He's gonna lose one. I'm kind of surprised to see that. I guess maybe a little bit of scouting. He did just get Nidus after all. I believe a Roach Warren was canceled here. Oh, well, okay. So Serral just got the information. Well, I think he was just trying to deny information, to be honest. He didn't have the information there would be no more Hellions. He did kill 2 Hellions, which is a factor, but I'm pretty sure he was just trying to feed Innovation some wrong info, but guess what? Innovation's coming in, but this time with 5 Hellions. Much more dangerous. Lights up the Zerglings. A Spore Crawl in the back, but that's not going to form a wall. The drones actually lining up for him. 9 kills thus far. 11. Double digits already. Completely worth it. And a Liberator in the back line. The Queens are still tied up dealing with the Hellions. 15 drones out of Serral, bringing him down under 30. He's at 25. He's reproducing, but he's also building Zerglings. Kind of panic Zerglings. Those Hellions were going to be dead no matter what with that many Queens by the time those Zerglings pop. But Serral freaking out a little bit, to be honest. Building a bunch of extra Zerglings is not going to accomplish very much. He knows that Innovation's going to have a wall on the other side. He knows that the Hellions would be dealt with, but he still made some extra Zerglings, which to me uncharacteristically indicates Serral panicking a little bit. Like, these Zerglings could have been drones, and wait, what? Well, so it appears there was not a wall. And okay, well, there's another Liberator on the other side. I am much like Serral losing 15 drones to initial Hellions. I am surprised. Now, I know we're all angry, but not everyone needs to take it out on the Coral Reef. Alright, Innovation, we've had enough Terrans doing that. It's already dead. Doesn't matter how angry you are at it. Gonna try to shoot down some of those, I don't know, like crabs and other aquatic creatures. Moving on. The idea was there. It was obviously a miss shift click. So Innovation taking a little bit of counter damage because he didn't have a wall against the Zerglings, just like Serral didn't have a wall against the Hellions. This has resulted in both players being slowed down by at least a minute or two on what the timings they'd usually have. Maybe not 2 minutes, but maybe a minute. Innovation didn't take as big of a hit, but it was, if he had not taken that damage and be able to put this attack, he still had another half dozen Marines. He could potentially put together a deadly attack. Serral has 20 Zerglings, he's making 20 more. But those are tanks. See guys, I'm good at those are tanks. Look at them. Very scary. Medevacs are out. +1/+1 about to complete. Serral's +1 is still about 30 seconds out. Baneling speed a long way off. The creep reaching only barely outside of this 4th base. Innovation can lay on the pressure. Until he gets Baneling speed and +1 Carapace, tanks one-shot Banelings. A very important factor here, as you see there. But the Baneling's getting surprisingly close. He's going to be able... Serral takes out the tanks. Just Marines remain, which takes a lot of the punch out of this. A bit of a missed opportunity there for Innovation. He shouldn't be taking out this base after that exchange. More Zerglings coming up. Yeah, you're not gonna... I'm kind of surprised that Innovation continues to press the issue. I guess he's banking on Serral building more drones afterwards. Innovation has 70 SCVs, by the way, against 61 drones for Serral. Serral's up against the wall here. His hatchery's in the red. No transfuse. Another queen pops out. Baneling speed finishes at the last second. The tank shot hits more Marines than it does Zerglings. But here comes Serral. The tanks are sieging up, but it's a little too late. He abandons them. One tank trying to get some extra shots off, but the queens, the hydras, and the Zerglings are enough, and he holds the line. Two upgrades have started for both sides. Innovation way ahead on this. Hydras, Lings, Banes. Serral catches up, but once again, when you're at this economy, the Terran has 2-2 quicker than you, with more workers, and you're on Hydra, Ling, Bane. His creep spread isn't incredible. He's done a good job for how much pressure he's been under, but Innovation is going to be lining up a very dangerous 2-2 timing. The reason that's such a critical part of the Terran versus Zerg, I guess, meta or strategy or this situation, is because in this situation when Serral doesn't have a huge economy, he doesn't have a lot of bank, he's not maxed out or anything, going to Hive is difficult. So this is... Well, that's not great. That's not the best Marine micro I've ever seen. Oh, the score is wrong. Good shout out to everyone who noticed. Yes! Serral won game 1. Jimmy, get on that. What am I paying you for? But before Hive, 2-2 Marine tank, like, there's no next level of tech for the Zerg easily in this scenario. On the left side, another drop being shut down, but losing a couple drops of Marines, or just the medevacs entirely, has taken some of the wind out of Innovation's sails again. He's made some basic mistakes, like losing those tanks early on, and groups of Marines, and not walling off, that have kept him from being in a game-winning position here. Serral actually a little bit ahead on supply. Innovation has 85 SCVs. Calm down, TY. What are you doing? That's actually too many SCVs, and he's building more. It's just reflex at this point. It's like SCVs, Marines, everything else. I'm actually going to go to the Innovation action cam for a second, and you'll see. He's quite quick about it. You can just tell how much these players are trying to manage. He doesn't even have anything on the map right now. Like, there's no drops or any harass. When there are liberators and medevacs and pushes and creep spread, not all that stuff happening. And Innovation's actually settling in, it appears. By that I mean he's got 3-3 on the way. He's getting Drilling Claws, Fusion Core, Ghost Academy, 2 more starports. So we're going to, as Artosis says, the supreme late game. Scans for the Hive. Oh, he's got a great time. If the Hive is not yet done, he can make great use of ranged liberators, because there's a chance there's not a Spire out yet. And also, just 3-3. There's no way, if he just saw the Hive and it's not done, it's impossible for Serral to have 3-3 quicker than Innovation. Because you need a Hive to start 3-3, and Innovation's already halfway done. So that's pretty easy math there. That means Innovation can max out with 3-3 and have a pretty intensely cost-efficient army against Serral, who's still essentially stuck on lair tech for a while. Innovation, another drop picked up. Lost all the Marines, though, unfortunately. Serral's moving together with all his units. Right now, he doesn't have killing potential, but sometimes the best defense is a good offense. In this scenario where Innovation has these... Serral knows. He knows he's going for that later game tech. Being out on the map at the edge of your creep is what is keeping Innovation from starting to do all this Liberator harass and doing like a big tank push, stuff like that. Because if he's not sitting here threatening to counterattack immediately, Innovation has so much freedom. He can just move out on the map. He can send out medevacs. Like, he knows it's going to be at least some time before a counterattack could come in. So Serral with the aggressive defense. Innovation with more workers than our Zerg player. Ghosts, 4 command centers on the way. 4. It's a lot of command centers. Serral's taking the rest of the map. It appears Innovation not going to commit to any sort of all-in. We are settling in. That's what we're doing. This is not going to end quickly. 5 command center! Oh my god. Vipers are out. 3-3. Is that Liberator? Does it have range? It does. He probably could have sieged up in a little bit of a better spot. Innovation's pushing on the right side. The Venn diagrams of freedom. Serral, though, counterattacks. This is what he was threatening the whole time, and now he makes good on that threat. Innovation drops on the left. He pushes on the right. The Liberator siege up. Serral at the same time on top of the planetary. He will take it down just barely. He queens up Innovation's army on the ground. The Liberators will survive, but almost nothing else does. Oh, a triple drop. I take it back. They went into the lifeboats, and now they're going to the main. Ranged Liberators making things difficult. The medevacs are here. A parasitic bomb is used, but he should be able to unload most of this nice little micro there to dodge some of those parasitic bombs. He sees the Greater Spire. Another parasitic bomb. The medevacs are going down. Innovation needs to figure out what he's doing with these Liberators. He's rebuilding very quickly. 12 Corruptors are on the way. The army in the main is cleaned up. He's consuming the Hive to make it happen. The Liberators back off that position, knowing it's unlikely they'll be able to get any more done. Everybody calm down. It's all over. Until the next round. They'll both go to their corners for a few moments. Innovation has already... Wait, did he lose this? I swear he lost this planetary. Has he lost a planetary this game? He has. Yeah, he lost the planet. This is just a different planetary. I'm a crazy person. He might have taken some damage on another command center. Who knows, though? He's like 15 command centers. Liberators everywhere. The Corruptors have to be split off, but they still do plenty of damage. Serral losing Larva and drones. Not that he doesn't have Larva to spare right now. God. No Larva for you. I love the little animation they added to ranged Liberator shots. Innovation, putting things together. Well, it's hard to decide. Like, this is where you got to make really tough decisions. Both players near maxed out. Beautiful scan from Innovation. Broodlord's on the way. This is the late game. You've got to decide. Am I going to try to take a position to win the game? Or am I going to try to not lose? And those are very different things. Like, for example, for Serral, winning the game is building a huge round of units, trying to smash a base, and cut off part of the army, and then refilling and doing it again to try to finish him off. For Innovation, it's similar. It's trying to harass him out of position and then doing a direct push. And neither side wants to play passive, because that gives the other player the initiative. That allows them to move into position before you can respond. But it doesn't appear either player really is going in for the kill right now either. As we're getting the maxed out. We're getting all the late game upgrades. High-sec auto-tracking, building armor, +1 ship weapons, 4 more command centers. He's already at 3+. How many orbitals? He's got 10, 11, he's double-digit command centers. But a base goes down on the left, a base goes down on the right, and Serral being stretched thin. He's tearing him apart. The Liberator count at 8. Innovation down to 80 workers. He's probably going to want to go down closer to 60 when he has this many orbital commands. 2 Hydras are here for some reason while scouting for this base. The creep is about halfway across the map, the line drawn in the literal sand. Oh my god. 4 Ghost Academies. He's got 1 nuke. There is no reason for this many Ghost Academies besides nuclear missiles. There is no purpose besides nuclear missiles. You gotta store them somewhere. Neo Steel armor about to finish. The Liberators will siege up. He probably has them on rapid fire. What does the unit's loss look like? Serral, well, Innovation's actually lost more gas. Serral has lost more minerals. We'll see what ends up... Usually gas is the limiting factor, but not always. Nice little micro there. Innovation gunning down the banelings. Incredibly cost-effective. Now, this is just the active defense. Having these drops as a threat is what is keeping Serral from consolidating all of his forces. Innovation obviously not paying attention this time. That's a lot of medevacs to be losing. Get out of there. He should get the medevac upgrade. I don't even remember what it's called. Anyways, nuclear missile in the center of the map. Doing, well... It killed some creep tumors, so what a start. More nukes on the way. 5 more. That's 1. We're gonna count them. The record, the most nukes I've ever seen in a game I was casting, and I haven't seen this game, was Future versus Silky, somewhere in the realm of 43? And then the series before that, he did 39. In a game. 1 game, not a series. Just 1 game. Innovation is quickly this is 2. But he already has 4 more banked up, and he just keeps reproducing them. So that's not get over here. Another one. Same spot. He's just gonna... This is the most expensive and dangerous force field. You know, move over, sentries. I have constant nuclear missiles raining down in the same location. He drops one on the left side as well. He's just throwing them out there, seeing what sticks. It's darts on a dartboard. At some point, he's gonna hit something. Attack on the right side. Serral, like, there's so much going on. This is just... He could just start nuking the edge of the map, and Serral would be freaking out. We're gonna go to the Serral cam. Just wait for the next nuclear missile. Oh, he sees it. He knows it's right there. Okay. But I'm imagining, like, every single time, he could just nuke literally the edge of the map. And the notification goes off, and Serral has to look around his base. Is like, is it somewhere? Where is the nuke? Where's the nuke? Here we go. He just heard it, right? Not in the front. Not at this base. They're all over the place. It's... he's flipping around looking for the dot. He finds one. Oh, it's this base. Oh, no. He loses some drones. He was too slow. 13 down. Oh, God. This is hell. Oh. It's much more intense on the Serral cam. You have no idea where they're going. I mean, we can see it on the minimap. He can't. He only can see the dot. That SCV really angry. All right. How many nukes banked up? Oh, he has no nukes. 5 more on the way. The horror has ended for now. Another round coming up. How many ghosts? 14! Holy. 14 ghosts. Another drop coming. He's trying to control the creep. Despite all this, Serral is starting to bank up some gas. Now, I mean, ghosts, nukes rarely hit Is he? What is happening here? Okay, oh, there's some bioenergy. There it is. Hey, 27 kills. The bio hits this base. Serral, not even gonna try. I'm going back to the Serral cam. There it is. He sees one. He sees one. Oh, he neural parasites! Wait, you can't nuke if you do that. That's one way to do it. That's one way to interrupt. There's nukes everywhere. Serral trying to keep it together. Here comes the air fleet. He's controlling the army at the same time. There's so much going on. Serral missing something. Serral missing. There's definitely another nuke. Oh no. Where is it hitting? I hear it. Oh god. It's terrifying. Good job, Queens. Ah! The ghost ran out of energy. Just been chilling there for a little bit. Oh, but a liberator. The spore's already in position. Moving off units. We're gonna go. Where is the nuke? Where is it? Going over to the innovation cam. Try to keep up. Drop on the left side. He sees some more moving in. Nice micro there. Probably gonna go towards the natural. Another planetary up. 69 versus 77 workers. Nuclear missile ready. Mineral field. Just keep launching them. He individually micros the ghost with more energy in, and then is going to try to bait the army with the other ghost. He's scanning to see where the army is. Throwing out a solar flare. How many orbital commands does he have? He has 10! 10! 10! What a commanding presence he is. Mineral field depleted. Going back to the everyone cam. Still nukes trying to land. It's much more calm when we're on an observer cam. It's like, oh, look, nuclear missile. I don't. 3-3 orange upgrades across the board. We've gotten to the point where the production tab really slows down as everybody already has everything. More nukes coming out. This goes. Wait. It's gonna land. How many spores die? 3 out of 4. The other one badly bruised. Still innovation with the drops on both sides. Just continuing forward with the bio. The spear of nukes. What the hell is that? What? The 7 ghost hit squad. The nukes everywhere. I'm going back to Serral's camp. This has to be terrifying. He's bringing the overseers up. Oh wait, does he get them all? One nuke, maybe? It's gonna land. All right. He brings it back in, but the bio's already. He gets the head. So many nukes. How many are we at now? Has anybody been counting? The alert should show it on the side. Okay, everybody calm down. Both sides are banking on money. Serral's actually doing quite well on his bank. If he can mine half the map and continue trading at this rate, oh my god, they're within 200 resources lost, but Innovation has lost 4,200 more gas. That's a big deal. That is a limiting factor. That's what happens when you launch dozens of nukes. Oh, it doesn't even... I think like 2,000 of the gas he's lost his nukes. It's at least 20 by now. Serral's starting to, like, at some point these games will get down to just fighting over one base at a time. We've gotten past the point where the armies are super mobile, where they can just go back and forth across the map. It's slowing down to where one base at a time will contest, because both sides have a bank. It's just over who's going to eventually mine those resources. Another nuke avoided. Now remember, Serral only sees the little dot. He does not see that big indicator. A drop on the other side, being yanked down. We're just gonna throw some more nukes out, right? How many more nukes? He's got 4 more in the tank right now. Okay, would you calm down? At some point, like, I don't know, is he actually just trying to tilt Serral? Another nuke from the high ground. Wait, does Serral see it? Serral? Yes. Another one going forward. Oh, this is risky business here. He targets down the nuking ghost. I can't. Serral has made some headway, though. The side bases are going to be the sticking point. Innovation does not have that much in the way of minerals. It is not incredibly cost-effective to keep nuking nothing over and over. Where are all the ghost accounts? Oh, welcome back to Bronze League Heroes. We got 50 nukes. We got 50 turrets. How many, what is his TPM? He's got 25 on the field. That's 1 TPM. And how many has he lost? He's lost only 2. So his TPM almost a perfect 1. Another nuke. Who could have expected this? Oh, he cancels it and backs off the ghost. What a play. More ghosts on this one. You know, this game has gotten weird when Innovation is trading ghosts. I don't know if that was incredibly intense. How many ghosts do you have? Serral needs to call Ghost Busters. I don't. More nuclear missiles. That is a changeling. I'm... a calm before the next round of nuclear storms. Innovation has both the top corners. Every mineral he mines can have an impact. Serral has a lot of money in the bank, but he's trying to figure out how to be cost effective. And it seems to be a struggle, because Ghost Range Liberator Planetary is difficult to break. Is quite an understatement. Why are we zooming out, Observer? Oh, no, more snipes. That's not the one. That's not the one that's nuking! Oh, he knurls the ghost, interrupts the nuke, and then EMPs the other ghost! What a play! Another nuke. Also a major attack on the left side. He takes out this base. Serral is struggling. He only has really one and a half mining bases. Innovation is setting up to hold. If Innovation holds this base, he has over half. Serral needs one of these side bases to be at half. Like, if Innovation is allowed to hold an extra base, he can afford to be this cost ineffective because he has an extra base of resources. And yes, we're talking about the total resources on the map right now. Serral cleans up the attack on the left, but the base is already down. Another nuke. Ah! Ah! That's so many how many Broodlords does he have? He's got 12 Broodlords, so 24 Broodlings every time he throws them out there. He's now going Ultras, but Ultra is not known as an incredibly cost-effective counter to Ghost Liberator. Another nuke. I have no idea what we're at now. Oh, that Ghost is quite far. He's gonna have to back off. Innovation is making moves. He's going full. That Ghost almost walks into the nuke. And the bio on the left again! No cancel for Serral. That's gonna hurt his 8,700 mineral bank, right, Twitch chat? Another one. Wait, there's a Nidus in the back! He could kill the Academies. The Banelings will connect, and won't be nearly enough to stop this bio army. Serral trying to turn the tables. But the bio won't stop the Ultraless Cavern. He will finish chitinous plating, but the Ultra Cavern may be falling. He actually can't get many more Zerglings out of here. Serral's army, despite the Nidus, is still... He has to have so much supply in Broodlords and Infestors and Corruptors, so that Nidus decidedly not incredibly effective. The Bio army will be cleaned up eventually, The nukes continue. He keeps pushing them back, bit by bit by bit. Innovation is mining from the corners. Serral has everything. He doesn't have ultraless speed. He has to remake the ultraless counter. Is he just gonna keep launching them? Did he queue up another nuke? Oh, Serral! Whoa! Gee. Mistiming that a little bit. Another nuke! Another one! And another bio army. Oh, but he EMPs some of the infestors. The nukes will eventually take out the hatchery. The bio on the left. Innovation. Serral is struggling. He keeps making the same moves, but he keeps making progress. The EMPs, there's no energy! There's no energy! The snipes, well, some of them will be interrupted, but the nuke will be stopped for now. The EMPs were too good. He tries to slide around the liberation zones. The banelings, there's no ghosts here. They're just trying to figure out what's going on. The corruptor's easily taking out the liberators. Serral going for it, but the snipes! There's nothing to interrupt them. The broodlord count has been cut down. Approximately 50 turrets are here. He's got 27 turrets on the map right now. Another defensive nuclear missile. He's already mined out of most of this base. He is still mining from this other base. Another nuke to the north. The bio army is tearing through the front. All the creep is being eviscerated. The queen count brought down to 2, and they're both at the front, so not too many injects either, which means he can't just refill dozens or hundreds of zerglings like he might want to. A few ultralists on the way. There's still 18 ghosts on the map. Another nuke to the north. He's nuking the hatchery before it even exists. This is nuke mining denial, which is a strategy we have not seen utilized incredibly often. The cost efficiency battle is now going, well, still in Serral's favor. The problem is that innovation is mining from all the bases on his side and one of Serral's, whereas Serral is struggling to even mine from his own bases. In fact, his income, not huge right now. A Nidus in the back. He has a bank, but it's slowly draining. Oh, beautiful fungals! Holy, okay. Well, he cleaned up that bio army. The Nidus is in the main. Full stop. Another nuke in the center. And this ghost is going ham. There's still some nukes in the tank. 5, I believe. Another nuke. We've seen this story before. The creep is slowly but surely being driven back. Another nuke. Is this enough to kill the hatch? He's trying to run away. Corruptors can just send an angry letter to that ghost. 15 HP. He can finally get some damage with the caustic spray. Spray and pray. Down goes the planetary. But he's already mined nearly half of the gas, many of the minerals. Serral is down to 3,600 in the bank when it comes to gas. Oh god, the snipes are coming out. Ghost cost effective against big and small units. They have extra damage against light. I think this nuke may be enough to take out the hatchery. Not that he particularly needs it. He's gonna finish it out in style. Another bio army! Deja vu! I've seen him lose this hatch before. More zerglings towards the north. How many times has that hatchery died? How many hatcheries have been lost for Serral? 13. 503 zerglings. Another nuke! He was about to start the hatch. It's just not happening. This ghost has 38 kills, and it's launched like a dozen nuclear missiles at that. He's going forward! Serral, just look at the map. Serral does not have very much mineral income at this 36-minute mark. He is long-distance mining. The bio innovation has kind of adapted his army, whereas Serral has tried to figure out options. He just hasn't found... He hasn't killed the ghost. There's plenty of Vikings now. There are ultras in the main. The Nidus is a wall. He's going to have to lift his own CC, right? To get back into his main? Or, oh yeah, he could just kill the Nidus. That's a good... Or just walk by. Those are all options. I don't think these Ultras are going to live very long. They tried. Put your head in the sand. Parasitic Bomb? There are no ghosts at the front right now, but there are a lot of turrets and Vikings. Parasitic Bombs come out. He might just hit the deck. Does he have smart servos? He does not. The Vikings, that's not the ideal splits on the Vikings. And by that I mean he took about maximum damage there. That was about the worst he could possibly do. But the Bio-Army is still working its way forward. Neither side has enough minerals in the bank. Innovation has somehow re-established a planetary over to the top right. He's been mining from the bottom left. But Serral has taken out the base in the center. A nuke defensively. The planetary can be targeted on to infestors. The turrets are killing broodlords. This planetary doesn't even defend a base. It's just kind of here. This is still happening. Serral is... He has next to no mineral income. He needs... Like, he can't lose this hatch again. He is not allowed. Innovation dropping 75 mules. The planetary burns, but it's accomplished its purpose. The income, quite high. Mineral income for innovation, over 4,000. The Corruptors should be able to take out the base. That will significantly dip that mineral income. Serral's down to 29 workers. Now, since he only has, like, one base to mine from, that's not the end of the world. Another nuke on the left. And, like, 15... It's time, Serral! From God! Ooh, that's a very dead infestor. That was real underwhelming. But wait! Oh, the EMPs! Innovation! This base will be stopped, but the EMPs on the infestors. Serral is bleeding out. Oh, and the snipe across the board. Serral! Innovation playing an immaculate match. At no point in this match did it feel like Serral, like Innovation was in a losing position. Maybe even, but at no point has it felt like, oh, he's got to do this. No. He's dictated the pace of the game, the style, and he's controlled it for the last 20-something minutes. And despite losing significantly more resources, Serral has nothing. He's down to a handful of broodlords and corruptors, some energies with limited infestors with limited energy, a couple dozen zerglings. Innovation will now be mining from the base he has denied from Serral for over 20 minutes. And Serral can't do anything about it. He sees the army. Serral's gonna make a couple more broodlords. He doesn't have money for anything else. Another nuke. I have no idea how many nukes have been launched. I think he may have beaten Future's record. I could plug this in the SC2 replay stats, potentially. It's easily in the dozens. I don't know if we're over 50. Just... At this point, Marines are easily traded out. He's mining from Serral's base. It's checkmate. Serral still has infestors, but it's impossible to know. You can get a gauge, but you can't know for sure how much money they have in the bank. For all Serral knows is Innovation's out of gas. We know he isn't. Innovation at the same time doesn't know Serral's out of gas. He can have some suspicions based on how little Serral's building. But you're not... If either player knew the situation, the game probably would already be over. But that's why Innovation isn't pressing the issue. He doesn't know for sure that he's up by 80 supply, that Serral's broke. Every single... You can't calculate every single unit, even if you're a machine or a champion like Serral. There's a lot of difficult math here. I'm sure Serral knows this isn't great. And I'm sure Innovation knows he just has a little bit longer to go. When you're using Zerglings in single digits against someone who has more... Are there more ghosts than Zerglings? Yes, by a large margin. There are no Zerglings, and there are 21 ghosts. So, there are more nukes than Zerglings. Innovation grinding forward. Oh, that... He gets the ghost. But does he get the other one? Oh, no. It's beautiful. He's just pushing him back over and over and over again. That's a lot of Broodlords, but where are the Vikings? He has like 50 Vikings. And by that I mean 22. And this is game 2. We're going to game 3. I'm pretty confident that Innovation wins from... Oh, the snipes! Wiping him out. GG! Innovation takes it. The patience, the execution, in every sense of that word. Just ridiculous. No, we're not... This is not where we're supposed to be. It takes so much to... He made it look easy. Well, not easy, but he made it look easier than it is. I know that's not the best way to explain, but it is incredibly hard to manage all of that and your production and make sure, like, you're not losing, like, the ghosts are on point and building all the new... All right. Well, let's decide it. Game number 3 in the bottom left. Looking a little lost in that ultra late game style. The world champion of StarCraft 2. And to esports Serral. The man and the machine in the top right. Just the iron fist that was eventually driven through the wall of Serral from start to finish. Almost a near perfect game. Like, if you want to play that style, if you think that's the highest percentage play, near perfect game. It's Innovation. I'm gonna get the numbers. All right, I'll get the numbers. Well, since there's no like a surprisingly in IEM Katowice, which of course this is from, a surprisingly low amount of cheese in the deeper rounds, from what I noticed. I didn't watch all the games live. I didn't watch these games live, but not too many proxies or anything like that. Terrans have seemed to move away from it. Then again, not too many Terrans deep in IEM Katowice. Alright. I'm plugging it in. I'm plugging it into the statistics here. We're gonna crunch the numbers. Nope, I got the wrong one. We'll do it after. We'll crunch the numbers after. Numbers are hard. Are we going to start the same way? Game 1 was Serral with a Nidus. Eventually, now the Nidus didn't win the game, but it kept innovation contained for long enough. It kept him contained for long enough. Oh, it's a 2-on-1, by the way. That he wasn't able to break through. Game 2, though. Innovation took the reins early on, did some economic damage, and Serral never really had an opportunity to move against him. So what will be Game 3? As we have 2 barracks starting out from Innovation. This is a staple of Terran. This is one of the pillars of Terran builds. We haven't seen it as much lately, but I don't think this is a build, unless there's some dramatic shift in the design of the game, will ever go away. It's the 2-1-1, 2 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. Wow, nice snipe. You get 16 Stim Marines, 2 medevacs, you boost them across the map as quickly as possible, usually right around 5 minutes. And you just keep laying on the pressure. It relies on solid timing, like you can't slow down at all because even another round of Zerglings can ruin it. It relies on keeping active on the map, keeping their creep down, all while macroing it up back at home. It's not designed to just win the game. You're not going to win the game with it, not against someone like Serral. But you keep a Zerg contained, and you continually scout them by simply having units at their door and forcing them to respond. Serral losing this overtime. Did he get a scout in? How much info does he have? What? You just kind of lost it. Seeing nothing. Seeing that many Marines is something. Yeah, this many Marines is already a giveaway. But he did not get into the base. The Overlord was just kind of chilling. That Terran theme. And this innovation, one of the progenitors, I'm going to use that word, that's a fun word, of the 2-1-1. Players like Beyond, Maru, also big fans of it. But builds like this are Innovation's bread and butter. That's how he butters his own biscuit. You can do the same thing. He relies a lot on the builds that you can see it coming. You know it's coming. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to just stop it or crush it or anything. Because it all comes down to the execution. And 2-1-1 overall is one of those builds that, even if you knew from the very start of the game he's doing 2-1-1, there's no hard counter besides maybe trying to kill him before the medevacs come out. But Serral not going to risk that. Plenty of Zerglings. Well, are there plenty of Zerglings? There are. Innovation comes up, denies the creep, targets a queen, targets a second. Going for 3. Gonna find 4. Can I get? No. He loses a medevac, but he does get 4 queens. And some of the creep spread. If he could have gotten all 5, that would have been a huge win. But that will leave enough to replace the creep. He went deep in the paint there. It cost him a medevac and all the Marines inside that medevac. But I'd say getting 4 queens at this stage of the game is a win. Is a win. Not a cheap win, but a win. Behind this, we have the standard follow-up. Double engineering bay, 1-1, another set of medevacs, and a later third base. It's just, when you invest this much in medevacs, marine stim early on, you just don't have the resources for a quick third. So innovation's going to be on a lesser economy, but with ideally more effective units with upgrades and medevacs for quite a time. It won't be until, well, innovation will be taking his third in a minute or two. But Serral's already got a 4th. He's got 60 drones. Now, he can't compete with the Medivacs heads up, but he can put enough Lings and Banes on the field. Actually, Innovation combining all of his forces here. 3 Medivacs and Marines. Serral not quite in position. The creep going to be taken out? Not quite, but he's stutter stepping forward onto the Queens. He cuts right through, deep in the paint. Ah! Baneling speed finishes just in time. If Baneling speed was not done, he targets those. He was on a roll. But so were the Banelings. I love how decisive Innovation is. Sometimes that is his downfall. But he's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm stimming in, and I'm going for winning. Unfortunately, he did miss one of the creep tumors here. But right now, Innovation been incredibly cost-effective, obviously, as Marines and Medivacs against Lings and Banes is always going to be like that. That's way too many Banelings to even think about targeting. Serral with some Predator drones in the mix. Nice counterattack here. Innovation a little bit sloppy not having the Marines in position. The SCVs will be pulled to, well, that's because he sent out some more units. Okay, looks like he sent another Medivac with 2 tanks in it. 4th base is under fire. 4th base very important for especially these heavy Ling Bane strats. He needs that larva. He needs that production, let alone the economy. The target fire, big clumps of Banelings there, but not that many tanks. He's going to have to pick up the Marines and get out. Losing 2 tanks, but gaining, forcing Serral to pull back with his units and defend his 4th. Wasn't great for Innovation, but it's better than nothing. That 4th base is not happening. No cancel either. Bit of a mistake. He's trying to drop on the Banelings in order to trigger them early. Yeah, Serral, you can't do that. Serral, nope. But Innovation holding strong. He's at 67 SCVs. He has not slowed down on that at all. 2-2 about to finish. Serral's 2-2 is significantly further off. About a minute on the attack, a minute and a half on the attack upgrade, and a minute on the Carapace upgrade. So now Innovation has another opportunity to try to leverage the upgrade advantage. More Lings in the main. Innovation driven back for now. The Spore Crawler is in position. Is he going to move out with more of his army, or is he settling in? A little surprised that Innovation hasn't decided to move out with 2-2 finishing. He's got 2 tanks on the way at a time. Serral has got creep spread over like half of the map. Well, not half, but you can tell he's spreading several lanes of creep, and this is going to become more and more difficult. Innovation just seems to be content getting his 3-3 and taking his 4th. Another run by Innovation, a little sloppy. Not finishing the wall, trying to be cost effective, and now going to lose some SCVs. 73 SCVs. That's actually probably perfect. Now, you could go with the Alpha Star strats, which are, of course, build so many workers that it doesn't matter how many you lose, you'll always have enough. Okay, he was I thought, for some reason, I got the impression Innovation was freaking out about an Overseer drop, but that doesn't make any sense. The timing of the SCV transfer was a little curious. He's going to go for the gold base, the double base here on Automaton. You can mine from both sides. Minerals don't discriminate. Serral coming in with a very heavy lair tech army. Is he going to try to smash? Does he have the numbers? This engagement, the Banelings. Innovation pulls back in time. Tanks on both sides. Innovation has too many tanks. Serral can't take this fight. There's too much of a choke point. He did finish 2-2. That's why I was looking for an opportunity. If you can max out or get close to it before the Terran has 3-3 or maxes out themselves, maybe you can put it all together and bring the hammer down. But not today. Oh, God. Here we go again. We've got 2 starports on the way. I'm just waiting for the Ghost Academy. Innovation has decided, if it ain't broke, we're going to the late game again. 3-3 concussive shells. Just in time. The drop in the main. There are some Zerglings. Does he have adrenal glands yet? He does not. The Marine's pretty well tucked in. Serral actually attacked his own extractor. That's going to make this such a pain to deal with. He might even lose some of his tech. He's lost so much in the main already, but at the same time, Innovation strikes to the right, taking advantage of how much he's dragged off the map. And the drops will just simply leave. 2 Spires on the way. Ghost Academy for Innovation. The drops are clearing up as much creep as possible. We're getting to the point where no attack like this is going to be deadly, but they add up. They add up over time for both sides. Here we go again. Get over here. Oh, hey, nope, stay over here. The abducts do eventually take down the medevacs. But the creep spread from Serral scans across the board, and he sees double Spire with a greater Spire on the way. Will this trigger Innovation to attack? No, it'll trigger him to make more ghosts. Time for more Ghost Academies. We can't pretend like we didn't watch the last game. Alright. We watched the last game. Innovation seemed quite comfortable with nuclear missiles, with multi-pronged attacks, continually bopping bases left and right. Serral seems to be preparing himself for this situation a little better than last time. Yeah, Serral pulling back the banelings, but... One more. Is that enough to actually... No. But the Lings and Banes on the right. He seems to be setting up, kind of realizing, oh, here we go. You can... I don't think... Well, in my experience, or at least my observation of watching Serral, he's not one of those players who shows that much emotion while he's playing. Not like a Raynor or a Scarlet type of player, or Neeb. But I feel like as Serral starts seeing the ghosts and the liberators, there's gonna be a sigh. It's gonna be like, like, oh god. Because remember, just the crazy context for this match. I mean, we all just want to watch him play good StarCraft, right? But this is the end of the day. They've played, both players have played half a dozen. This is the 6th, I believe, 5th or 6th series of the day. 5th. There's 5 other players in the group. They've been playing all day. Serral already won the group. He already won. Innovation is out. He lost. But he ain't giving it up. Still a couple $100 and all the dignity in the world. And they're playing, that last game was what, 40 minutes? 45? We're at 15, and I don't think this is ending in the next 5. Or 10. Or, well, just take the number of command centers and multiply by 5. How many commands? That's my estimation. You gotta continually update that. So many command centers. What is the count? We are at 4 command centers, 2 planetaries, and 6 orbital commands. So, a dozen. I'm trying to see, like, Serral's banking money. Serral was banking money in the last match, too. He's now getting Neural Parasite. What does he do differently? What do you change? He's got Spore Crawlers. He's already pushed the creep up, but Deja Vu. Oh, there have been no nuclear missiles yet. The nukes are not joining the field, but how many ghosts? We got 10 ghosts on the field. Only the 1 Ghost Academy so far. I'm kind of surprised we don't see more Ghost Academies here. The tanks are sieging from the high ground. This map is also very difficult to defend either side. Well, King's Cove is another example of that, where if you're attacking one lane, essentially, you have to go all the way around to defend or attack the other lane. Because unless you mine out the minerals like Innovation is tactically doing here. Ah, that's the real strat. You just mine out the minerals early, so that way that's no longer the case. Serral's also mining off the gold. There you go. 3 more Ghost Academies. Planetary Fortress on the way. Like, it's all blending together. We've seen it all before with a different backdrop. It feels like this game we've kind of, besides the lack of nukes, last game it took until like 25 minutes until we settled into this super late game, like supreme late game scenario. Now, both players are just like, I guess we're doing this. A Nidus in the back of the main. What do you even do with the Nidus, though? If he could kill production, some Hydras popping out. Alright, yeah, he's killing some production. Now, this is not a game-ending move. Innovation could build another dozen barracks. He's building the nukes right now. The medevacs are coming in from a weird angle. Alright, he's making some progress. He could use the main as a point of attack with enough Nidus networks. The Hydras are trading out. He only has +1 missile attacks. He might want to consider upgrading that. But can Serral do anything? Like, other than Nidus, can there be an attack? Does he even try to make... Does he draw a line halfway across the map? Or does he actually go try to make something happen? Abduct's coming out. There's not that many Corruptors, but there are Spore Crawlers. Oh, beautiful Parasitic Bomb. Oh, I thought it was going to hit the... Another Nidus in the main! I think both players forgot about it. Serral will probably remember... Ah! Serral! 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 He's busy. He has 452 actions per minute, but not enough to unload that Nidus. Innovation, once again, less cost-effective. Wait, he's more cost-effective this game, but this game, Serral has had a better economy. So, slightly different. And we've opened it up. The nukes begin. Now, if I'm exhausted just watching this, like, I'm mentally and physically exhausted, imagine actually playing the game. Once again, Innovation comes in sniping a hatch, and I'm continuing that from the last match. More. Wait, where the Overseers are out of position? EMPs hit most of the infestors, not all. The Fungal will make the ghosts, well, dead. How many Corruptors in the mix? He's got +1, +2 in the air. Attack +2. So many Banelings! Whoa. The Banelings just all rolling through. The Bio is still finding an opportunity here. The Banelings just... They're looking desperately for something to hit. Wow. That was really sad. Well, I guess not. Never has anything been so sad not to be able to blow itself up. Because remember, Banelings always get 1 kill whenever they attack themselves. Innovation just... He just seems to have the right units in the right place, whereas Serral is struggling. He's throwing stuff out, seeing what sticks, but How many infestors are left? 0. That's not incredibly many infestors. He's building some more. More air upgrades as well. He has some broodlords. Innovation is establishing... He's like, now I'll go mine the gas. One step at a time. Serral's starting to mine out here. He has... Well, both sides... It's not a good sign for Serral if the banks are near even. Last game, Serral's bank was better. And, that did not help. Cost efficiency. 4 SCVs have died, but I'm not entirely sure that was Innovation or Serral's choice. Another nuke, and another one. He's just throwing them out around the sides. And another bioarmy coming in. Deja vu. So many hatcheries dying to these just 30, 40 supply of bio. He always has on the map. Innovation has 68 workers, Serral at 62. The nukes continue. What? That ghost very sneaky. The banelings, well, finding something. Definitely not cost effective. This nuke gonna land. Does he have another one? They're about to finish. The bioarmy is cleaning up all the creep. Serral is losing a lot of the map here. More nukes, just defensive nukes this time. Serral has to see that. Let's go to the Serral cam. Wait, that's not the Serral cam. He sees it, right? I think he just sniped the ghost off. There's so much. The map is slowly being dragged away from him. He had creep, he had spores. He's now losing bases to nukes and bio, and the fungal's coming up. Where's the parasitic bomb? There it is. Wait, what? A nuke? Where? It looks like Innovation keeps canceling his nukes at the last second. This is an interesting standoff, as the broodlings cannot out-damage the healing of the medevacs. There's a dozen or so. Oh, he nuked himself! Innovation! Okay, it didn't hit that much. His supply didn't dip that much. But he still hit a couple liberators with that. There's essentially just medevacs up here. It's getting out of hand here. Broodlord's on the way. The banelings just kind of roll underneath. There's no tech. The ghosts are on the run. The overseers can't run the go. Oh my god. Incredible splits. Another sad day for banelings. Now, just the splash damage is killing ghosts, but the struggle is real. He's killed like 4 or 5 ghosts. The broodlords are working their way forward. Serral, desperately. Innovation has no minerals. Innovation is actually running out of minerals. Okay, something's happening. Serral is leaning on his massive economy. Innovation will drop some mules, and that'll probably help out his mineral situation. And by mules, I mean like 12 of them. So let's just... Yep, that helps. That helps. He's down to 54 workers, which means his potential army supply is quite high. The bio army moving in. Does Serral have an Ultralisk Cavern? He does not. He's leaning on the Infestor Broodlord this time around. I assume these overlords are for Nidus Vision or something. I don't know. So Innovation is struggling for minerals. He's still tactically not mining out all his minerals. I don't know if that's actually the case or if he just got driven off that base and never reestablished it. How many orbital commands? He could with 11 orbital commands, you can pretty much scan most of the map at all times. I don't know the exact map. But you definitely have at least one scan, potentially, at every second of the game, if you just one after another. Speaking, he's just going to continue on that. You can see it on the minimap. Another nuke. We had a bit of a lull in the nukes here, as Innovation struggled to get his minerals back. It looks like this host will be slapped in the face with some broodlings. But the bio army, Serral is ready, but that's not enough. Like, he just never seems to have quite as much as he needs. to deal with the bio that Innovation's throwing out there. And down goes another base. Oh wait, that nuke is dangerous. But get the ghost! The ghost! The ghost! Okay, great brood, solid broodlord micro there. There's actually a little trick that Serral is using where you can have extra range on the broods and still get attacks off. You just gotta time it right. It's like very slow stutter stepping. Another one. It's interesting when Serral chooses to move forward against the nuke and when he doesn't. Oh. Get out of there. The bioarming. Okay, this time Serral is ready. Big Bane hits. He should clean this up, right? Yeah, with the Medivacs gone, they lose a lot of their effectiveness. Innovation still microing back. Another nuke. I'm so close. I'm hiding in plain sight. It seems like it's gonna... Oh, Serral's freaking out! Another one at the front. And he just keeps throwing them out. So, Innovation, they'll never see me back here. And he's right. There's no Overseer here. That's very unfortunate. Another nuke, but that doesn't quite kill the base. This... Oh, okay. All right. Some boys are sacrificed on the altar of more army supply. So the gas bank is in favor of Innovation, but the mineral bank is in favor of Serral. That's less significant. He's trying to eat banelings with SCVs. This is the world we live in. If he could trade one SCV for a baneling, that would be incredible. Oh, and once again, Innovation hits the left while nuking the right. That's the hatch right there. That hatch is gone. Drones and SCVs dying for different reasons. Oh my god, when will it end? Imagine how Serral feels. I don't know. Spore goes down. To Serral's credit, not really. Essentially, no nukes have landed on the army. There's a Nidus here. You know, a Nidus over on the left side to help move units to defend against the bio might not be the worst thing ever. Scans across the board. Another nuke! Snipes though on the mains! He gets one medevac in return. Oh no. Serral sees it. Serral slowly being driven off the map, just like on King's Cove. It just... For a while, he was holding his ground, he was pushing, but he's been ground down. The creep is I don't know, it looks like a queen is stuck somewhere. Brenda! I thought we just creeped this location, but we're gonna creep it again. I don't know. As the ghost. Did you see something? No. Must have been a ghost. More scan. Oh my god, the Venn dia scans. It's just another bio army. Are there enough Banes? This is literally, he's being exhausted out of the game. You can feel how tired. It seems it's slower and slower with the reactions. Innovation keeps making the same moves. We're going to the Serral cam. He keeps making the same moves, and Serral is just slower and slower on dealing with them. now Innovation's bringing some ghosts. He's starting to say like, oh, you committed your army over on the right for so long. Oh, infestors. Fungal on a few. Oh my god. He gets one ghost for his troubles, maybe two? No. It's not about the APM. It's about just the reaction time in general of when his units are moving where they need to move. How far in front of Innovation he is, which is not at all. Serral has post-traumatic nuke disorder here. He is already going down to the corner he's been nuked from like half a dozen times. He's like, well, there's gonna be a ghost here, right? There's no ghost. Oh, does he have a Viper? For parasitic bomb? Nope. Is Neural done? Oh, he's trying. With the EMPs. Innovation already has an army to kill this hatch, but there is no hatch. Serral has drones transferring to the hatch that doesn't exist! The army comes in. Innovation. Beautiful splits. Somehow Serral is still maxed, but it just does not feel like it, does it? Oh my god, there's a ghost. Of course there's a ghost. Terrifying. Another one. Serral, does he see it? He does. Well, he's gonna lose a couple. Nope. Scans across the board. He's now, deja vu, gonna be taking one of Serral's corner bases. Innovation has a massive bank. Serral is almost broke. He has battered and beaten. This is the end of Innovation's tournament. I just can't get over that. I guess it's that going down fighting spirit and not the Brood War map. It's like, well, I'm not going out. I might not have beaten anyone else in this group, but I'm gonna beat the world champion. He hasn't won yet, but he is mining from one of Serral's bases, in quotes, of course. He's mined out of his side of the map, and he's kept a lot of that in the bank. Serral's lost 10,000 more resources. Scans. Serral needs to take down these rocks. There are no minerals left. Doesn't matter. So we can move back and forth easy. That's an interesting predicament here. Another one! When will it end? Innovation has fully established this base. You can't run, but you can walk slowly. No, that was just the ghost. It wasn't me. One more? Wow. He's like, well, if I kill the base, the drones won't be there for the Liberator, so I should probably just bring the Liberator instead. A nuke. Wait, he's nuking the edge of his own base. Oh no. Oh no, Serral. Okay, he sees it. Like, the supplies are close, but the potential supplies are not. How many turrets on the map? There are 31 turrets. How many has he lost? He's lost 21. He's built over 50 turrets. More than 1 turret per minute. 1.5 turrets per minute. TPM for the uninitiated. Serral's last stand. This is the hill he potentially dies on. He's trying to beat back Innovation, but he couldn't stop the nuclear missile. Innovation will continue forward. The nuke will land. A very dead queen. And he continues. Looks like Serral's gonna try to contest. Oh no. Oh, he got the ghost. He got the ghost. EMPs on all the infestors. It's a disaster. Serral has no money, no bases, no energy, no units, and no hope. And by no units, I mean the units are all about to die. Nice fungals, but with the last energy he had, some good parasitic bombs. Great micro from Innovation. Serral has 250 minerals. This has been so incredibly methodical. Now you know why they call Innovation a robot. A machine. Serral has looked human this game. And, it seems like the fin is about to be finished. He doesn't even cloak the ghost. Serral has nothing in production. He's driven back. The nukes continually punctuate this push. The spores must move back. The broodlords try their best. Can I get another one, Innovation? Can I get another nuke? There's a Zergling counterattack. This is identical to the previous match. Serral has been bruised. He's been battered. And I dare say, Serral has been beaten. It's a long death animation we're watching here. But it is death. There's just... There's not a winning army for Serral left. He can never get the spells he needs off. Yeah, a couple good parasitic bombs with perfect micro and enough queens. If Innovation just stopped doing anything for a little while, then maybe Serral could pull something together. There's literally not enough minerals left on the map for Serral to really rebuild an army that he needs. Especially not ones that he has access to. More snipes. The fungals interrupt some of them. The nukes, he pulls back, but they'll hit the spores. This time Serral was too slow. Innovation continues forward. Another nuke! He cancels to move. Just die already, says Innovation. No. You know what Innovation says? That's right, very little. Just watch his stream. Like, I... And then I'm sure he'll throw in a Protoss Imba, but that does not factor in here. Just continuing forward. We've taken like 10 minutes to fight over this location, but Serral has given up ground. Another Viper. That Viper ain't coming back. He can target down the Ghost. He will. But he's gonna lose units again. The army for innovation is 25 Ghosts, 31 Vikings, a handful of Bio, 4 Liberators, and 7 Medevacs. Here comes innovation. I think he's had enough. The EMPs across the board. The Vikings, I think, can win the battle in the skies. With no parasitic bomb to stop them, the fungals aren't enough. The snipes from the back line. Actually interrupted, but G. Innovation. Runs all the way through. I wish I could have gotten a Broodling counter. How many Broodlings died in that exchange? 50,000 minerals and 22,500 gas for innovation. 58,000 minerals and 22,156 gas for Serral. Now, that was less, but innovation took so much ground and took so many bases that Serral could not compete. He bled out. Innovation didn't have a huge bank at the end, but he still had access to resources. I'm exhausted. And I was not in that match, believe it or not. Believe it or not. And all for an already known conclusion. We already knew who won that game. But I'm going to get a counter on the nukes. If you liked that experience, all of it, or some of it, or none of it, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, do all these exciting things. In that way, we can spend another hour and a half watching Serral be ground down by nuclear missiles over and over and over and over and over. And let's see. I'm gonna try to get a nuke count here. I'm plugging it into SC2 replay stats real quick. Should have had this already. But now a lot of people will ask, like, how do you actually beat that? There's a stage of the game. Apparently it won't plug in. So we may never know. Unless I directly upload. But the answer is, to an extent, what Serral did there. He, like, Broodlords, Infestors, Vipers, Spellcasters, all of that. But it does come down to control. What the real weak point didn't actually seem to be the late game armies, but instead it seemed to be, I'm just getting this set up here. The bio. The bio comes in, swings in 30-40 supply of Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs, and Serral just kept losing bases to it. It was the nukes that kind of made the difference, but the bio just kept coming in, and... Alright, I'm plugging it in. Let me see the replays. Oh my god. How hard is this? Yeah, I gotta beg for likes because I'm multitasking on YouTube as well. I'm really trying to find the replayed file. This is the part. We'll just put an end screen over this part. Oh, there you go. That doesn't tell me how many nukes. Oh, but it does if I go to the page. All right. So on that last match, how many nukes were used? The answer... Nuclear strike. 59! That is a record. That beats Future. That beats Innovation, the previous game. That is the most nuclear missiles I have ever seen in a professional game of StarCraft 2. 5,900 minerals and gas, and all the ghosts to launch them. That's how much it takes to kill the world champion. Hopefully you enjoyed my breakdown, my cast. Hopefully, well, I don't know if hopefully, but I am exhausted. I can only imagine how they feel. Thank you for watching.